If you haven't heard by now, the Chattanooga Mayor's Council for Women hosting the first ever statewide women's policy conference right here in Chattanooga coming up in just a few days. City Councilwoman Carol Burrs is here. Carol, so good to see you. And you have brought along Brooke Satterfield with the mayor's office. So good morning to you both.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Tell me about this conference that's coming up here.
Well, it's really exciting. The Institute for Women's Policy Research in Washington issues a report card of all the states and the status of women in health, welfare, etc. And I think Chattanooga and Tennessee have the dubious honor of being 49th in the nation.
Yeah.
And with a very poor grade average.
It certainly is. And Brooke, I want to ask you, what was your initial reaction when you saw this report card?
It's very shocking. There's obviously we have a great reason to be hosting the conference, and you know, as someone who is entering the professional world, you know, I've got a lot of years ahead of me. Right. So it's definitely important that people my age specifically to join in, so that we can help this cause.
Now, you say we have a poor report card. I'm going to take a few seconds here and tell you just where we stack up. Political participation, D-.
Correct.
Employment and earnings, C-. Work and family, D. Poverty and opportunity, D. Reproductive rights, D-. Health and well-being, D-. As parents, we would all be shocked if our kids brought home a report card like this, but when it encompasses the whole community, what do we do to start improving these grades?
Well, I think first of all, women need to take responsibility. We can't be part of the problem. You have to be part of the solution, which means that we have to vote, we have to get politically active. The Mayor's Council is nonpartisan. And the issues we're dealing with aren't Republican or Democrat, they're human.
Sure.
And so we need to start taking a closer look at how we can affect changes in our own life. And that's what the policy is about. We are bringing in women from all over the country to speak and help us learn and get a more global view of the status of women and how we can bring change here to Tennessee.
What are some of the topics this conference is going to cover?
So most of the topics are very similar to what we were rated on in the report card, but we've got things like implicit bias in the workplace. We've got sexual harassment. We actually have the author from the Institute for Women's Policy Research, the author of the report card, Julie Anderson. She's going to be here to talk about those topics.
You said implicit bias. Explain.
Carol may do a better job explaining, but you know, you have these in the workplace. You have you know, your explicit bias where people are women, maybe minorities, are very maybe openly treated differently, but implicit bias is kind of those things that are swept under the rug. You know, you don't notice, but it's different. You're treated differently.
All right, Carol, do you have anything to add to that as far as the implicit bias goes?
Well, I think the reason that we're so unaware is it is implicit. It has to do with being on boards of directors. It has to do with places for women to, say, nurse children or child care. It has to do with succession planning. It has to do with all sorts of things that we don't think about.
Sure. And it seems like the more you uncover these topics, the more you find subsequent topics underneath the top coat that they need addressing also.
And I think, and there's something interesting there. When we first started studying this here in Chattanooga, we thought we'd hear a lot about glass ceiling. You know, that's the trite comment. We didn't find that at all. We found out that there's a lack of affordable quality daycare.
Sure.
We found out that public transportation doesn't meet the needs of people.
I want to get you to come back and talk more about this a little bit closer to the time, but how many people roughly are coming to join this conference?
As of yesterday, we've got about 300.
Wow, good.
Yeah,
well, I
from
hope
across
that
the
number
state.
keeps ramping up, and I hope these grades keep ramping up as well. We will talk to you more about that a little bit closer to the date. It's coming up on the, 9th of February.
That's right, all-day
It's going to be at the
conference.
brand new Westin downtown. And if you'd like more information on the event, it's easy to find. You can contact the mayor's office, or you can go to connectchattanooga.gov/Council for Women. Very important. We all get involved in this, and it gets underway at 7:30 on the 9th at the Westin. Stick around. We have more of Let's Chat right after this.